Good day, this is Chango Gumi, Uni Chango. Today I'm doing a viewer request. Today's video is going to be on Iyami Oshoronga. Now, first and foremost, let me just say that I don't claim to have the absolute truth because there's many variations on this topic. Now, first, the words Iyami Oshoronga means my mothers that give me the power for the astral trip. The Yamis are representatives of the ancestors of the night, also known as the ladies of the nocturnal rituals, or even the witches of Santeria. Now, the Yamis are in charge of the harmony and chaos on this planet. Again, the yin and yang factor. Now, contrary to popular belief, anyone can receive and do spiritual works with Yamis. Now, there's a cult in Africa that worship nothing but the Yamis, and this cult is ruled by the women. But men are also initiated into it. These men are called Osho, and they're like second level members in the cult because the women are the dominant force. They are looked at as servants from the dominating women that rule the cult. But the men still exist in the cult. I know there's so many arguments nowadays that, oh, you gotta be a woman in order to receive the Yamis or even work with them. You can't even be a gay person, a gay man, and work with them because you gotta be a straight up woman. No, that's not true. Plenty of Santeros have received the Yamis, and the Yamis are a big thing in Ifa, and everybody knows that all Babalaos are men. So right there, we scratch that. So men and women can work with the Yamis, but caution, the Yamis are entities that shouldn't be bothered too much. If there is a possible way to get your results that you want with a different Orisha, I suggest you do that. Now, the Yamis feed off the pain and suffering and from the fear that the humans have. Now, there's plenty of patakis, fables about them, about the Yamis. My favorite, the one that has the most logic, is the one where the witch was always taking care of her sister's 10 children. Now, the children representing humanity. Plenty of times she was constantly watching over them, and during that time of the witch watching over these children or humanity, nothing had ever happened to those kids or humanity. The only time that she needed to go to market but couldn't take her son, her only child, she asked her sister, the mother of the 10 children, if she could watch over her only child. And she said, fine, you know, she's more than content to do it, because her sister was constantly always doing the same thing for her and her children. So the witch went to the market. Now her sister's inside the house and she's hearing her 10 kids, because the kids were outside playing. She's hearing the 10 kids contemplating about how they were going to kill, which the child, by the way, was a bird. The witch's child was a bird. So they were contemplating how they were going to kill the bird, cook them, and eat them. So the sister comes out the house running and said, no, my children, if you guys want bird, I'll go into the forest. I'll bring some back and I'll cook it and you guys can eat it. So she went to the forest, but as she was in the forest and her sister was in the market, the children killed the bird, cooked him, and ate him. So when the witch comes back, she gets infuriated because her only child was murdered, cooked, and ate by humanity. So now she's vengeful. Now she's going after all the children in the world. As this is going on, she's so torn up. She goes to her brother, which is Iroko, which is the sacred tree in the religion. Now, all the other patakis, they say it's 3 witches. This one's different. It's two sisters and the brother. Now, the brother's Iroko, the most sacred tree in the religion. So she goes over there crying. She's heartbroken. She explains everything. Iroko says, listen, I need you to stop going after the children, and I'll make a deal with you. I'll allow you to instill fear in humanity. Now, this is the first time that humanity ever felt fear. So through your pain, anguish, and fear, the Yami nourishes herself. As a matter of fact, her revenge for the loss of her only child still exists to this day, because every human being has some type of fear. Now, the reason I like this pataki is because it makes a lot of sense, because the only talisman that will protect you from the yamis is made from the tree of Iroko. That's why I'm saying that this is the one that I like the best, because it has the most logic. All right, another fact associated with yamis is that Egun, or the dead, they listen to the yamis and do their bidding for them. The yamis can be at all places at once, including all of the dimensions, and not just a tiny spark of their essence like the orishas, but they're everywhere in their entire essence. And what I mean by that is, you have the Irunumore in heaven, and then that essence comes down just a little bit essence into what we know as an orisha. The orisha is not here full force, because their main force is back in heaven. But the yamis could be anywhere, everywhere, multidimensional in their entire force. So if they're in a million places, it's a million times that they're there in full force. Unlike the orishas or any other entity where they're only here a little speck of their essence. Now, the yamis transform themselves into birds, crows, or whatnot, in order to bring ire, or good luck, or osogbo, or bad luck. Because the yamis, remember, the yamis could do either good or evil. Now, there is an ADIMU that you could do for the yamis. It's called ajeje. Now, first you have to get the guts and the organs from several rabbits, 12 egg yolks, no whites, palm oil, red wine, and the leaves of Siempre Viva, or Always Alive plant, or as is known in Santeria, Ewe Dundun. Now what you do is you mix everything extremely well with your bare hands, and you leave this sitting outside for several days. You let that stew in there. You know, you want that as reaction as possible. The smelliest, the slimiest, you know, flies are trying to get in there. That's what you're looking for. Now, when this is to that point, then you have to place it on the roof of your house. If you don't, I mean, you're gonna have to have access to your roof, and you do this at nighttime. If for those of you that have no access, like those of you that live in an apartment, you have a balcony, you leave it there. Just find a spot. But you must leave this ADIMU at nighttime. And then you do your petition and whatnot, and you leave that there. Well, this is all I have for the yamis. May Chango bless you and yours. Ache, ache, oh.